Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back. TB Sports 27. Welcome into yet another edition of NBA Playgrounds. You can see we are at the beach. We have gone international for the very first time, and we are at Rio de Janeiro, the site of the crowning of the first Intercontinental Champion in WWE, and the site of week number 4 of NBA Playground. So quickly, off the top, if you want to get caught up on all of the NBA Playgrounds action, you can do that at patreon.com/tvsports27. You can check out the standings, you can check out stats, you can check out the rosters, everything. If you want to know where we are going into week 4, patreon.com/tvsports27. Look at the comments popping off. People are glad to be here, and we'll give our shout outs off the top. Now we're going to do 6 separate streams, so quickly we will jump into the beginning of this, but we are going to do all our shout outs here at the beginning, and those will go through the next 6 episodes. So Patreon shout out as well to our super fans, our mega fans, our ultra fans, Justin, Russell, Mr. Maple, Jonathan, Harrigan. Thank you guys so much for being Patreon supporters. If you're watching on Twitch, hit the follow button, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so help us get there. Help support the channel by checking us out on YouTube, subscribing on Twitch, and following on Twitter as well. We're at TB Sports 27 on Twitter. That's where you can interact with us one-on-one, ask us all the various questions and what have you. And, of course, patreon.com/TB Sports 27. So pretty cool atmosphere here right on the beach as we go into week 4, our first international battle, as we got the undefeated legends today represented by LeBron James and Bill Russell. Of course, each team is a 4-person team, and 2 can play at a time. And going up against the Birds of Prey, who are 1-2. Big game for the Legends. If they win, they'll obviously go to 4-0, which means they'll just be 2 victories away from qualifying for the Playgrounds postseason. But a lot of sand here, the beachy feel, this international flavor. They're playing with a soccer ball out there. You see that? So this is shaping up to be a good one, because there was conversation last time when we streamed from one of our followers here on Twitch saying that they felt that Larry Bird should have been part of the Legends squad. So this is a chance for Larry Bird to prove, I believe that was Lava Man on Twitch that said that, so a chance to prove the commenters correct here, as they got a little super speed, but the Legends pouring it on early on here. 13-6 Legends on top. Joe Johnson and Larry Bird representing Birds of Prey here in this evening. I don't know, evening. I guess it's the daytime. You got the sun way out here. LeBron for 3 as Joe Johnson just knocks that one right down. But a whiff on the duck for Joe Johnson. And Legends, they've been tested a couple times. They went to overtime with Bad Boys in the New York subway, but they've been pretty dominant throughout our NBA Playgrounds tenure, and they are the Legends, so they are Las Vegas's choice, early picks, the favorites here to win the whole thing. And in our main event game, Game 6, you're going to see the undefeated Board going at it, or Paint, I should say. Paint is undefeated, and they're a bit of a surprise, I think. But when you got Shaq leading the way, you can never be surprised with that LeBron James windmill dunk here. Sometimes sports the Laker jersey, sometimes the Cavs, sometimes the Heat jersey. Joe Johnson. Larry Bird, rebound. Johnson wasn't there. A little bit out of sync right now, Birds of Prey. And a huge opportunity now for Birds of Prey to get back into the 6-point opportunity. LeBron dumps it off to Bill Russell. Bill Russell with the jumper. He nails it for 2. They're also going to get the shot clock cut in half here. But not a problem. They're not going to go for the triple point, so as you can see, LeBron just trying to wind down the clock. And Bill Russell for 3. No good. LeBron, no. Joe Johnson there. Pitches it back up court to LeBron. LeBron loses it. Joe Johnson with the, I wouldn't say old school, but kind of the blue and red Atlanta Hawk. What's your favorite Atlanta Hawk look? They went through a lot of colors over the years. Of course, my favorite, I don't know what years it was, but it's, I think people call it the, well, they got the Pac-Man logo now, but it was the uniforms from that era. I wore those when I was playing with my Atlanta Hawks on NBA 2K19 before 2K erased all my data. 21-19, Birds of Prey catching up here. Said this is week 4. Another 6 games coming your way as part of the NBA Playground schedule. We'll see how many of them we're going to stream with you tonight because we got NXT to watch. So we might not do all 6 tonight. But that means we'll bounce back on a Thursday and stream. We get 21-21 here in Brazil. We started off week 1 on the Carl Vinson out in international waters. Week 2 in the New York City subway. Week 3 from the Chicago courts. And here we are, week 4 international. We got more international stuff to come. We got an ice bucket. How does that make sense in the hot Brazil sun? There's a dunk, though, by the NBA logo himself, but trailing by 1. A lot more international games to come, including, I think we're going to go to South Korea at some point. We got Australia on the schedule. What about Toronto? That's pretty international. That'll give the Legends the lead back. Tight contest here as we're going into the second half of this ball game. Time winding down. And the large lead of the Legends. And wow, those 3-point shots by Joe Johnson. They're killer right now. Triple bucket opportunity. LeBron for 6. No. And they can't shove. If they shove, they're going to lose their power up. Is that 3? We'll never know if they'll count it. And time will tick down. So golden opportunity missed by the Legends. Bill Russell layup is no good, but LeBron on the putback. 27-27 in a pretty highly contested matchup here in the Brazilian beach. Now, someone who's more familiar with this game, I don't know if there's any unlockable arenas or if this is kind of what we got here. I'm not sure. I think we can make our own, but I kind of like the arenas they got in the game. They have a season mode, too. Would you guys like to see me do the season mode at all? That's something we can do if you guys would be interested in that. I don't even know what it looks like, but certainly something. You guys let me know in the comments, as always, what you want to see. Patreon.com/TVSports27 to get those requests in. Our next Ultra Fan stream coming up in a couple of weeks. I think we're going to be getting some Denver Broncos football again. Legends reclaiming the lead. 31-29. We're going to be visiting some other locations, too. We got, like, I think Transylvania. We got a Halloween arena. We got a winter arena, too. And a Valentine's Day. Where would that be? Where would Valentine's Day? What city would that be? Philadelphia, maybe? We also, there's a couple of high school gyms, too, so maybe we bring the NBA Playground to the high school days. Look at Larry Bird. That would have been a 6-point play, because with that point breaker that he's got, and that's well, there's one that's actually kind of a wasted play by LeBron, because that power-up allows you to hit a shot from pretty much anywhere. And so that could have been a 3-pointer. Bill Russell from very deep. They have not been hitting on their 3-point shots. 2-point lead for the Legends. Here comes Birds of Prey, the crossover. Now this is double points. Yes, that power-up gives you double points if you hit a crossover, which Larry Bird does to perfection. And momentarily the lead, but this has been a very tight game. 35-35. I want to say pretty low scoring, too. We usually get into the 50-point mark. Still plenty of time. We've only broken 60 on very, very small occasions, but the Legends' undefeated season now in danger. LeBron, not a problem. They're going for that #1 seed, and depending on how many teams qualify for the postseason. That could lead to any number of bye weeks, depending on who all qualifies. Like if you get a weird uneven number like a 5 or a 3, you know, that would put you pretty close to the championship game if you're the #1 seed. 6 wins qualifies you for the postseason. It's an 11-week season. 6 wins qualifies you for the postseason. 6 losses eliminates you from the postseason. So we have a number of games here in week 4 of teams that are 1 and 2 going up against each other, and the team that loses that is going to be in a really tough spot because they're going to be 3 losses away from being eliminated from playoff contention here. Larry Bird, Joe Johnson, they got rough. They're poisoned right now, but even with that bad stats, they're still able to get the shot to go. So it is back to, man, we cannot break. It's pretty much been 2 points back and forth, and it's going to come down to these final couple of seconds here. The Legends trying to do everything they can to get the ball back. Larry Bird for 3. Joe Johnson rebound. Larry Bird, no! Joe Johnson puts it through. Holy smokes. So LeBron will tie it there. And with 1 second differential, and instead of trying to wind the clock, Birds of Prey go ahead and just take the lead. So undefeated season hanging in the balance right now for the Legends. They're going to play for the final shot. LeBron hits it, 3 seconds, and we could be headed to an overtime game. Larry Bird, it's overtime. 30-second overtime here. We had a triple overtime in week 3. And this is not the first time Legends have been pushed to the brink here. They went to overtime with the Bad Boys, as we said, in the New York subway. That one off the rim. And this could be dangerous because when you get the double possession like the Legends do, 4 points unless you get a power-up, that's going to be hard to overcome for the Birds of Prey. Let's see what they do here. Time ticking down on overtime. Larry Bird's going to whiff. Joe Johnson. And that is going to do it. Legends, hang on. They will go to 4-0. Birds of Prey will drop to 1-3. So they are 3 losses away from being eliminated. The Legends, going into week 5 in an 11-week season, they only have to win 2 more games to qualify for the postseason. Unbelievable. 8 dunks from LeBron James. Joe Johnson leading the way in your stat category, but it's a victory for the Legends. All right, we'll be back. Game 2 coming your way, NBA Playgrounds.